Do you want a car that will make you look like you belong in every rich neighborhood, even if your credit score is so low that you receive pre-declined credit card offers in the mail? Today, I have a list of 5 cars and 3 bonus picks that will make you look like a baller, but without baller payments. Starting with probably the most controversial car on this list, Kia K900. And if you're looking at me like, what? I get it. The Kia badge usually screams Uber driver, not CEO. The K900 was Kia's attempt at big boat luxury sedan and was meant to give the likes of Lexus LS, Cadillac CT6, Mercedes S-Class a run for their money. When new, it was around 60k. Today, you can get one of the earliest V8 models for around 15k and around 20-25k for newer ones with twin-turbo V6, depending on the mileage. And yes, you heard me correctly, a Kia with 5-liter V8. This almost feels illegal. It made 420 horsepower and was mated to an 8-speed auto. And here's the funniest part. In 2020, Kia sold something like 300 of these, not because it was bad, but because nobody wanted to drop luxury money on something with the badge that reminds them of a rental spec Rio. But the K900 actually has the chops. It looks good, it is super comfortable, and the interior is legit nice. Maybe not Lexus LS I own property kinda nice, but still very nice. And if the badge bothers you, you can always debadge it, and no one will ever know that it's a Kia. So if you want a rare, comfy, undercover luxury sedan that looks expensive from 15 feet away, this one is a great choice. Now, this car is an insane value and also a financial landmine. The pre-facelift 6th gen BMW 750i. When new, this car was around $95,000. These days, you can snag one for as low as high teens or low to mid 20s for a pretty decent one. And what do you get for that money? A modern-looking BMW with a 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8 making 445 horsepower and the 480 pound-feet of torque. Absolutely nasty numbers for the price. It's not the latest generation, but trust me, regular non-car people will never know. They will just see a big-body BMW and assume you have your life together, even if you're so broke that the ducks at the park throw bread at you. And the best part? This comes from an era when BMW designs were still timeless and classy, unlike the current Gen 7 series, which looks like a PlayStation 5 married a beaver. Inside, it is pure luxury without the 15 screens per square inch nonsense. Most of the buttons and knobs are tactile and physical, and you can actually adjust things without going through 9 screens in the infotainment. What a concept! I know. The build quality is immaculate, and you can still find one with the executive package for ultimate luxury, for your backseat passengers, that is. Some of these now sell for less than the options cost when new. This thing depreciated off a cliff. Just remember, there is a reason it's cheap. This is one of those cars that can absolutely ruin you financially. If you like the look, but you also love having money, get the 740i with the B58 engine instead. Okay, maybe you don't want a sedan that depreciates faster than a pet rock. Enter Porsche Macan. Porsche discontinued the gas Macan for 2026, but you can still get one used for around 15 to 20k. The Macan does come with a bit of a stigma. Pull up in one of these and people will assume you've got kids, a Peloton subscription, and a favorite brand of oat milk. But it's genuinely a great car. It looks good, it feels expensive, it's decently reliable, and if you get a Macan Turbo, it drives really well. Because of Porsche magic, you can actually enjoy this thing in a twisties as well. It handles way better than an SUV has any right to, closer to a hot hatch than a family hauler. Not quite, obviously, don't come at me, but close. Don't get me wrong, the K900 and the 750i also drive great, but they're more like luxury, cushy highway cruisers than canyon carvers. And if you want something bigger, you can grab a Cayenne for the same money or even cheaper, but it's gonna be older and or higher mileage. And let's be honest here, most non-car people probably cannot tell the difference anyway. To them, it's just a Porsche SUV. The Macan is a great choice if you want to look rich, haul kids and groceries, and still have fun on the weekend. Alright, this next car on this list might be the cheapest way to look rich. First gen Audi S5 Cabriolet. You can snag one of of these for under 10k if you're brave and cool with mileage, or mid-teens for cleaner ones, which means you can look like a baller for Honda Civic money. There is just something freeing about driving a convertible down the PCH. Wind in your hair, or, if you're like me, wind in what's left of your hair. The S5 Cabriolet is a legit bargain, and it aged like really fine wine, both outside and inside. It still looks pretty modern. Since it's the S5, it is also pretty quick. Power comes from the supercharged V6 that gives it 333 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque. That's right, supercharged. Turbo lag? Nope. Not there. It also comes standard with Audi's legendary Quattro all-wheel drive system. It's rear-wheel biased, so you can still have some fun with it. And let's be honest, it absolutely makes you look rich. It is a classy-looking Audi, and the fact that it's a convertible is just a cherry on top. Okay, the last I want to look rich car on this list before we move on to the bonus picks. The second-gen Mercedes CLS 550. This might be the best-looking bad decision on this list. The car is incredibly stylish, and these days can be had in the mid-teens to mid-20s depending on the year, mileage, and how brave you are. The reason why it's such a baller deal is simple. It's a 4-door sedan that looks like a coupe, and the design is still ridiculously classy. This car does not look used at all. Step out of this thing in a suit and people will think you have a watch collection and opinions about wine. It's the perfect car for looking successful, like you either run a company or a money laundering operation. And since it's the 550, it comes with a twin-turbo V8 good for 402 horsepower and 433 pound-feet of torque. Big numbers for the money. Inside, it's peak old-school Mercedes luxury. Real buttons, high quality, comfy leather, ambient lighting, and real wood, although I will say the wood can make it look a little dated by modern standards. If you can, spring for the facelifted version. Mercedes addressed the timing chain issues the earlier models had. Or, if you love the CLS look but want something less risky, something that has a better chance of making it through a full year without turning your dashboard into a Christmas tree, get the CLS 400 instead. That twin-turbo V6 is more reliable and still pretty zippy at 329 horsepower. Now, these cars didn't make the main list because they will financially abuse you, but they absolutely deserve to be mentioned. The R230 Mercedes SL55 aged insanely well, and it still turns heads to this day. Supercharged V8, short wheelbase, loud, fast, an absolute riot. But when it breaks, it does not break gently. Remember, the cheapest part of owning an SL55 is buying the SL55. The G-Wagon has instant status. People see one and assume you're doing really well in life. Mercedes barely changed the design for decades, so old ones still look new. The problem? They hold value like crazy. Under 20k means ancient, abused, and with like 1,000,000 miles. The Bentley Continental GTC is the ultimate look-rich car. It's iconic, instantly recognizable, and 200k new, now 20 to 30k used. But this car will delete your savings account just to stay running. You do not own this car, it owns you. Alright, every car on this list makes you look rich. Some of them just make your mechanic rich too. Let me know in the comments, what's the best cheap baller car and which one is the biggest financial trap? If you enjoyed the video, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.